race fans. This is Crash. I'm usually on Racing Statistics. I'm on my own channel today because I'm just trying to test out some things. I'm in a new studio, basically. I'm in the NTC Motorsports Racing Studio right now, and I am testing out some things before F1 comes around. And no better to do this than to go with Formula E in their first round in Mexico City. Their first practice is going to start in a few minutes. What's interesting about Formula E is, again, it is completely electric. But also, what's going on is that this is their new start with their new generation of cars. This is the first time officially that these cars have been on a track in a race style condition. So we're about to see that in a moment. So as I'm going to try anything else, there's going to be moments where I'm going to be, basically dropping out, coming back in, changing things in the stream. So just bear with me as I work on these things. Looking at how things are looking on my. So far so good. So I do have the Formula E stream up on another window, but I'm not. I don't can't broadcast that because that would probably get me in trouble in terms of a copyright. So basically, and I can't show you the stream as well, but it's a free stream on YouTube. You can go to it right now. I'm actually gonna just drop that in. I'm just gonna just drop this in chat in a couple places. And cars are now getting on track right now. Look at. So yeah, there we go. So you can see on here, a little herky jerky with what I've got here. Um, but we've got 8 is Rast and 5 is Hughes. So these are the McLarens are out early. 7:48. That's Gunther and Morata, and that's Maserati. This is a new team that's on the grid this season. So it'll be interesting to see. Penske is on the grid this season. I think Andretti might be new to this season as well. There's been so many changes to the FE um, in terms of what teams are here, who's competing, who's where. It was a lot changed. So if you again, one of the things that the FB does well is that they're very good about showing things on YouTube, keeping things up to date on YouTube. They've kind of taken a cue from F1 in that regards because they do an excellent. They're the gold standard of how you communicate uh, to fans about information. So I should say it's the Neon uh, FE team, and it looks like the team principal Zach Brown. I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't call him team principal. He's the team, the boss, of boss of McLaren. So McLaren, if you don't know, McLaren has an F1 team, it's got an IndyCar team, doing other, so there are multiple teams underneath that umbrella. Data for a little bit. Take a look at who's done what so far. We've got Roland doing a 121. What else is done? Yeah, we don't. That's in sector. That was an early sector one. I guess these are got any true laps in yet. There we go. We got our first one. Ras. Again, McLaren. They were out early. Maserati taking 2 and 3. Ras first. Gunther second. Mora three. Evans fourth. Sumbi. Envision Racing. We've got the Werlen with the Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team. So just close to see again. I'm new to what's going on here. Here we go. So right now we're looking at the best in terms of what's going on. I think I know Nissan is another one. Again, I'm relatively still new. I've known of FE, but I haven't dug in deeply. So take a look. Hello, Rose. Thank you for being in chat for me right now. In the moment right now, I'm going to drop a couple. And we're getting some more on the board right now. Van Dorn, um, NATO, Fenraz, Rollin is Tickum, Dennis, all getting on the board. So the fastest so far is a 1:15.691 and a 1:15.93, and that's a Porsche and Jaguar. So two different teams top of the board right now with 115, 115s. 116s we've got Penske and we've got Envision. So interesting mix. So we got a mix of different teams. No one team dominating with a right now. And we have a full course yellow right now, and we'll see what's going on. See what happened here. Not sure what exactly happened. I think it was a full course yellow, as just to test the systems for it. And now they're back into green flag racing conditions. So practice racing conditions. We see Tictum has jumped up into the 116s with a 116.814. Degrassi is in a 117.006. Mora 117.112.2, and then Lauder 117.224. So top of the board is sub 117 and a quarter right now. There's a yellow right now at turn 1.1. Or what that, and it's something happened there and it's cleared up. So and if you're just joining me now, I want to thank you. I am Gresh Riza, and I am right now following along with FE Practice 1. We just had Verne just jump to the 115.271, Van Dorn jumping to a 115.502. So we've got a change in P1, P2 right now. Evans jumping to a P4. I think that was here before. But Set Kamara basically a 115.197. Dennis from Andretti Autosport, 115.161 right now. So if you got questions in chat, just drop them in. I will get to you as soon as I can. And I'm trying to like I've got looking at chat, looking at the FE stuff, and looking at the timing board all at the same time. So if you like F1, if you're here because you're a motorsports fan, but you're an F1 fan as well, I do practice sessions for F1 on the racing statistics. And as I was talking about that, Booney from Envision Team just jumped to a 115.030. So we're looking at potentially them breaking maybe the 115, um, getting into 114s really soon. Drop, yeah. What else here? Vernon, Van Dorn, Dennis, Rasmore. Jumped. I think it's Lutter. Trying again. This is a new Rast status out. I think it's force. So not sure. I think something happened with Rast. That's what indicated on the timing chart here. So this is a pretty nice timing chart I got here. We got track and track and go. So basically, the big thing about this particular track is that into turn 15 they have that section formerly called. So we got double yellows turn 8. So we've got yellow flag scenario. Let's just look at the race control. And we're back to green flags. So the big thing I was pointing out is that on turn 15 they have this section where they call attack mode, and basically the idea is that you could take the inside curve here for speed, or you can go around the longer on the turn 15, and if you do that properly, you get a boost to your for an energy boost. Basically you can go faster for a moment if you go into there. So this is one of the things that makes FE interesting is that when do you go into attack mode when you use it? We've got another yellow turn 1, it looks like. I'm not seeing on the replay what that might be. Not the replay, but the stream. So it is, green flag. I'm watching the cars go around, and they look really good. They look futuristic. They've got that they're pointy. Let's be honest with the FE cars. They've got they're sleek, sleeker and pointier than an F1 car is. Um, they come to a point as opposed to the F1 car comes to like a rounded section. So they stand. They look futuristic. That's kind of the point with the they're trying to make FE look sexy. Basically, that's the point. And they're looking at, it looks like Banyes as they're doing a replay with him. One of the Penske. Is he one of the Penske? Yeah, he's one of the Penske guys. He's coming around. He's getting shifting left and right on the track as he goes around. So and we are now into the 114s. Werlin in P1 114.14623, Vernon 823, DaCosta 866, Evans 946. So we again, like I said, we're in that 114s now, with about half, just getting close to the halfway mark of this section. Chat right now from you guys. That's fine. Thank you for those who are in chat right now. And I want to thank Alexandra, Commander Root, and Dap Snat for being in chat right now. Thank you so much. So again, we're talking about the attack mode. Let me turn off the track info and look at the cars back on. What's interesting is that they're starting here and finishing here. That's a odd thing to do with the track, but hey, as I've been talking, we've had Dennis now jump to a 114.458. So now Dennis in P1 for the Andretti group. So Andretti is if those are not familiar with Andretti, they are a major force in the United States. Both Mario Andretti being a legendary driver, Michael Andretti, his son, another highly successful driver, and now team owner. Andretti is involved in several other, most obviously in IndyCar, and they're in the news right now because they're trying to get into F1, and they will probably do so because they've brought Cadillac on board, which is a GM. They brought GM through via Cadillac on board to F1 in their bid to join. In the moment, we just had Verne just go to a 114.051, so they are getting used to this track, and they're getting faster each time they go around. Dennis has just jumped into the pits. Ticktum has jumped to a 114.267, and now we have a yellow flag. I'm trying to see, and it looks like it was something on track. And it's basically it was one of the Porsche drivers basically did not make his turn and went into the the runoff area, and that's why we had a yellow flag scenario. Another yellow flag? What's going on? Yeah, so I'm seeing that things are happening. The driver's going off track, and I'm getting a yellow flag, and then bouncing back to a green flag. So right now, pretty much as everyone is on track except for Verne, Dennis, Evans, Muller, Lauder, Murata, are basically all in pit at the moment. So I want to thank those of you who've just joined. Again, this is Crash Reza. I am doing the first practice for Mexico City for Formula E. This is, again, why am I doing this one? Well, it's partly I need to do some practice because I do F1. But why specifically FE this particular practice session? This is the first time the next generation cars for Formula E are on a track doing laps in race style, practice going into race. So this is the first real shakedown. They've done tests, but this is a real shakedown scenario. And let me see, we got another yellow flag. I'm not sure that's just a driver having an issue. I do have to admit that these cars do look nice. This generation car, they do not look nice. They have a style to them. They're fast too. That's the other thing. These new cars are lighter and faster than the previous generation. Like if you look at them and they're like, yeah, that's a race car, and it's got style, and this is what Formula E needs right now. Really, it's just to stand out in a particular way, and they're going pretty. I mean, they're going through the course pretty quickly. They are in Mexico City, and they're on the track parts. I'm not sure how much it is the same with an F1 track. Again, I'm not sure what's going on. Turn 15, uh, 11 Evans, or is it? Yeah, again, I'm trying to figure out what this timing chart is trying to tell me. Like, so one of the Envision cars looks like it is now out now. And then who is? Yeah, it looks like Tictum, yeah. So one of the neat Nio cars with Dan Tictum, he basically went off track, into that safe, the safe zone basically to, yeah, he missed his turn, and then, oh, who, more than one car. Wow. So no, Boomy's just in a pit. I'm not sure what the chart is saying when it says out, so just bear with me. I want to thank for those of you who are in chat who are watching right now. You could give me a thumbs up or a hi, a question, comment. More than willing to take those live right now. Um, or if you just want to say where you're from, I usually do that during the F1 commentaries as well. I do want to note that the practice sessions for FE are only about 30 minutes. So we're now at the 2/3 way through at the 10-minute mark, about the 10-minute mark. So we've only got not a lot of time for practice with you guys. Well, wait, see what else. And nothing has really changed. Murata just jumped to, again, as I say that, Murata and the Maserati just jumped up to P2 with 114.247. So yeah, I mean that's we've got. So one of the things that they are using, they are going through the the stadium section of the track down in Mexico City. So looks like they're going through that. It looks like uh, Gunther just jumped to P4, 114.247. Just before that, Bird had jumped up to had jumped up with a 114.542. Evans now just jumping up to P1. He's under now a 113.895. So we're now in the 113s. So we started it early on with the 150. We've dropped about a second and a half as we have progressed. So that's pretty fast for this track. That's a that's interesting to see, and they're moving pretty quickly out there. So and thank you, Rose, for the heart. On stream right now, they're following one of the McLarens, which Hughes is the one that they're following right now, and he's has just jumped. He will jump up to a 113.737 on the board. So new P1. And again, the interval is like we're only like like 1500ths of a second, 1600 a second. I mean, like the gap between Hughes and Evans 157 to Evans of Vernon is 156. Morta 156 for Evans of Vern, and then Vernon Morta is a 196. I mean, we're talking within a half a second from P1 down into, well, things just changed. Worland just jumped into P2, 113.737. So same time as Hughes, but because Hughes said it first, he's going to be above him. He's going to take that P1. So between P1 to P6 now, we're only talking about half a second. Hughes just improved his time to 113.702. So I'm just looking right now, looking Hughes, Worland, Mora, Evans, Tictum, Vernay, Gunther, Bird, Dennis, DeGrassi at the top 10 right now. We have a 22 card grid, so that's interesting. And look at where we are now, just under 7 minutes left in this free practice. Again, if you are interested in what I'm doing, hey, follow the channel. If you're an F1 fan, come join me over at Racing Statistics. I've been doing some practices sessions for F1 with them over there. We've got a great community. We'd love to have you. We've got a great. If you follow, it on YouTube, you'll find the Discord channel from him as well. Screen right now is following Da Costa in one of the Porsches. Yeah, Porsche being one of the new team manufacturers, engine manufacturers that's going to join F1 in 2026. They've pretty much bought out the Williams team, for lack of was it? Yeah, the Williams. I believe it's the Williams teams. Is looking where they're probably going to land up. The Sauber team is basically the other. Audi is the other. See, Van Dorn just jumped up to fourth as I'm talking. That's a 113.852. Yellow flag in turn one. What's going on? Van Dorn having the number one is he's last year's champion. So putting a good folk time on making his take time right now. He has jumped teams. He is now with the Penske team. So that is interesting. This is the Penske Motorsport team. So again, Penske, one of the big names in the United States. They've always been a big Indy car, but Penske now also owns in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and that's a big deal. Pretty much, IndyCar exists now, survived the pandemic because Penske put money into the league, into IndyCar to keep it running during the pandemic, and that's a big deal. So they've always been a big deal, a huge deal now. Now that they own, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Um, Looking right now, any changes in the board? None right now. Um, Yeah, the stream. Just looking at the stream, they've got some really good shots of these cars as they go around. Right now, they're let me see, eight. Let's see, Roland, who are following along at the moment. Or that was maybe Tictum. Yeah, that was P8, so it was Tictum. And they're talking about on stream right now that there's a good amount of the track progression. So as cars drive over it, they're putting down rubber and it's actually improving the track in terms of time and whatnot. So they've said that a good portion of like again, beginning of practice they were at 115, low one. The fastest was a low 115, starting into 114. Now we're in the low 113. Chat right now. See. Ooh, there we go. So this is one of the McLarens came around. Where's the pit? Where the pit was? Yeah. So 50. So Ras. So yeah, that was Ras. Basically came around the corner and basically lost the back end and slid across the back of the wall, um, nose pointing out. Uh, took 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 some. He's taken some damage. Yeah, he's again. They're saying it's lucky that no one else was closer to him. Obviously, yeah. He's got damage. I'm not sure how much damage, But there was some stuff. There might be stuff on track. I did see a piece fall off, something fall off. So we'll see how his car. He will be out probably most likely for the rest of the session. Again, it's only a minute 43, but still, um, that's going to be interesting. What they're going to be able to do for that car going into the next session. And we're under a minute 30 right now. So as we go forward, yeah, they're going through the stadium section. It looks awesome. Like these cars look like they belong on this track. That's the big thing. They look like they belong here. They look awesome. And I know like people are like, oh, if only this, if only that. No, they look like they belong. At any other jumps in the board right now, and there hasn't been much change since Ras took out his back end. Yeah, they're pointing out that Envision and Nissan are struggling, particularly the Penske guys doing really well. Hughes is in second with Neon McLaren. Unfortunately, Ras is in 11th, just having done damage. Um, Porsche doing well, doing okay. Whirling in fourth, DaCosta in third in 14th. Maserati in P5 and P10. So that they're in the top 10. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so again, Andretti doing okay. Dennis in 8th. So Lauder down in 15th. And we are now basically have times elapsed. We'll see who. Again, they're gonna go around maybe one more twice. So we got maybe another minute or so. Again, um, I want to thank those of you who showed up. I appreciate it. Again, I'm not seeing any changes to the board right now. There is a yellow flag on. It came out right away, and it's slippery. It was probably because it's a slippery surface on turn 8. So that's what the race control is telling me right now. So it doesn't look like we're going to get any changes to the board. So our top 5 is Vernon Hughes, Seth Carrara, Warren, and Van Dorn. Vernon going 113.294. Hughes 113.386. Sarah 113.372. 732. Sorry, Werland doing a 113.333. 1 thousandths of a second slower than Sekara. Van Dorn doing 113.841. Mora, I gotta mention it because it's 8.443, and then Evans 8.95. Dennis at 13.900, and then Tictum at 113.904, and 10th Gunther 113.978. So all the top 10 113s. We've got 114 through P11 through P18, and then P19 are all 115 at some point. So there's again there's a lot of room of improvement for half of this field. Ooh, and one of the Mahindra guys came in too tight and hit ooh hit the barrier on around the turn, um, and lost pieces came flying off basically. Um, it's like the car is drivable, but there is damage to the wings, and then they're doing practice starts right now. And this is something you'll see in F1 as well. As the end of a practice round, they're going to come to the start line and they're going to line up, and then they've got the lights set up to go basically go 5 lights go, go by lights out, lights out, away we go, over and over and over for them to do practice starts, and that's what they're doing right now. So that's what you're seeing why they're lined up, up on why they're lined up, like you're seeing this stack right here. That's what they're doing. So we'll stay through the practice starts. Interesting because they're getting some, they're burning some rubber as they're taking off. So this is the smoke of, some of the guys are leaving some smoke behind as they take off. Again, if you like what you're seeing here, what you've enjoyed, I want to thank those who have shown up. If you want to say anything before I take off, now's the time to do it. Again, this is Crash Razor. I'm coming to you from the NTC Motorsports Studio. Basically, it's my apartment. I've set up, just moved. How you doing, Loop? I just set up in my new apartment. I'm testing out things. Those who know, Loop is the administrator, basically the guy in charge of the Discord for the racing statistics community. I appreciate you showing up. Um, yeah, basically, I'm doing practice for F1. I want to, I saw that, hey, that the first round was this weekend for Formula E, and this was the first practice. I figured this would be a cool way to like keep myself, from being rusty while I wait for F1 to come back in a few months, a few weeks, I should say. Um, and this was interesting to see, see Pensy jump to the top of the board, see McLaren, racing, seeing yeah, this is an interesting mix of teams between Nissan and Maserati and Porsche, and they're all. This is really interesting. So, will I do this again? That's a good question. I'm not sure. If I do, it will be. I'll be announcing in the same places where I did before. If you are, again, I know Rose and I know that you guys, um, I know you guys are in the community already. So, but if you're new, if you're someone who isn't part of the racing statistics community, I appreciate if you go over to the YouTube channel. The link is on the screen. Um, we were he does so the channel basically has two priorities. One, basically, is racing statistics. So he's right now that the channel is making videos about different, like the last video he put up was about the all-time podiums list, and how, and basically he goes from the beginning of the F1 start, race by race, essentially literally race by race over each year, up to today, and you can see like, oh, this is where Senna came into his own. This is where Schumacher came into it. This is where Hamilton came in. This is where Max Verstappen is now charging up the board. Um, you can see that historical perspective over time, basically as those, and he does, racing statistics visualized. Um, the other thing we do over there is for F1 sessions. So for F1, so this is for practice, qualification, and the race itself. We have the timing data. I've got the chart with the cars going around, and I just happen to we have that as well for the F1 sessions. And I've been doing commentary over there as well. So if you've been enjoying this, I'm joining us over in that community. So at this point, we're going to just basically, the FV stream right now is showing highlights of what happened today. Their session ended about, oh, I want to say about 7 minutes ago. I've been streaming almost about 40 minutes now, so I'm about to end my stream as well. And we have a bot. Hi, I want to offer promotion, blah, 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 blah. No, Oh, Rose got it before me. Like I'm clicking on the moderation tools and it's like, nope. Yep. High five, Rose. Yeah, Rose is one of my moderators here. Loop. Yes, Loop knows I'm moderator in F1, and I'm good at usually good at getting those bots as well when I'm not commentating. Yep, bot gone. Yeah, if you guys didn't see what happened with Ras, it was interesting because like he turned and hit the wall. Yeah, the two incidents. Ooh, yeah, with the what happened with the McLaren and the Hyundai. If you haven't didn't see those, you probably should go back and see it. Those were pretty interesting incidents on track. So, all right. So I'm coming to the end of my stream right here. Again, if you are a more sports head, come join us over Racing Statistics. We do F1 as well. I have been doing practice over there as well. Again, I've been doing FE here just because, hey, why not? It's practice for F1 when it gets back next month. All right. Any last comments from chat before I take off? This is the actual final. See that there's 5 of you viewing right now. I appreciate you watching right now. All right, so I want to thank you guys. Thank you all for watching, coming. I will catch again. I might do the second session. I gotta see when that is. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next time I stream, or if for some of you, I'll see you for F1 if you're over in that community